very opposite, Alfred Nobel was famous for the invention of TNT, which was used to devastating effects in wars across the world. In 1888, a newspaper accidentally printed an obituary of the still-living Nobel that called him the Merchant of Death. Nobel didn't want that to be his legacy, so he made the Nobel Peace Prizes to be given out to people who contributed positively to humanity. Great ideas happen every day. What will yours be?
WMCM, UWL's TV station. The news you need. The movies you love. The sports you want. Something to watch. Something to watch together. A variety of shows just for you, all together in one place. Your campus, your channel, WMCM.
Welcome back to Sports Scene. For this segment, we're going to play a little game we like to call Odds Makers. That's where we tell you the odds of certain things happening. So let's kick it off with the Brewers making the World Series. What do you got for me, Cole? Odds?
I got 20%.
Okay.
If they play the Phillies, they're probably only going to be able to win on timely hitting because they got the Doc Holliday, Oswalt, Hamels, Cliff Lee. He's pretty good in the playoffs if you didn't know that. But what do you got?
I got a 12.5% chance. So
making the World Series.
That's it. Everything goes through Philly, like you said. I think
Yep.
Philly's rotation is too strong on paper, and they just, a couple of weeks ago they came into Milwaukee. They took 3 out of 4 from us, and they dominated us. And it takes a lot of wind out of your sails knowing you got to play a team like that in the playoffs. Like you said, we're going to need super timely hitting from our 1-2 punch of Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder. And we're going to need a lot of role players like Tony Plush and guys like that, Corey Hart to step up. So I don't like our chances.
But
it kills me to say it, I don't.
Who knows what's going to happen?
That's right. So we'll move on here with a little Ozzie Guillen talk. Last night it was reported that he was let go from the White Sox. Only later to be reported that he was traded to the Florida Marlins. What do you make of Ozzie Guillen being a good fit? Chance he works out there.
I actually had on here, he will be on the Marlins this year. It's a 100% chance.
Now it is.
But he has been traded today. Was it today? I'm pretty sure it was today.
It was, yep.
Yep. And
the report came through last night.
That's the report that came through. But the Marlins they've been pretty mum on the subject. But we'll see. He's gonna go there and he's gonna be Ozzie being Ozzie.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna swear up a storm and give us great sound bites. But he won the World Series
in 05. Yep.
05, so.
I give him a 50% chance of working out and being successful, like he did in when he went to Chicago for the White Sox. He took care of a terrible team and he built them up, and he did win him a World Series in 05. I mean, I know he's been on the down skids recently, but I'll give him a 50% chance of working out. I know he loves that warm weather down there and things like that.
Tons of young talent down there.
That's right.
Yep. So right now we're going to go back to the NFC North, the Black and Blue division. So what do you think the odds are the Lions will win the NFC North?
I know everybody's big on them. Everyone's huge on them right now. They're 3-0, but I'm only giving them a 20% chance. I don't think they're quite there yet. You got to look at the rest of the NFC North. Like we said with the NL goes through Philly, the NFL and the NFC goes through Green Bay. Until somebody proves that they can, put a lick into Green Bay and beat them, I don't think the Lions got a chance of winning. And also Chicago. Chicago's 2-1. Look at who Chicago's played. They played Atlanta, New Orleans, and Green Bay. 3 playoff teams from last year. Who have the Lions played? They played Tampa Bay, Kansas City, Minnesota. I don't care. If
one of these
Matthew Stafford's got to stay healthy.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
The Lions have a 50% chance of winning the division. I think they're going to split the games with the Packers, and their season entirely depends on Matthew Stafford and his health. Matthew Stafford is the new Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt.
We could go on about this one forever, but we heard the bell, so we're going to move on. To a little NCAA football. We'll go back there to the national championship game. What are your odds that LSU and Oklahoma play each other? The 1-2 right now.
0%. I think the Badgers. This year is the Badgers' year. I'm not a bandwagon fan or anything, but I think the Badgers finally have the offense where they can win. They can score at will whenever they want, essentially. And I think also another high-power offense, Boise State. It will be the Badgers and Boise State in the national championship game. In my opinion, Kellen Moore might win the Heisman Trophy this year, so we'll see what happens there.
Fantastic quarterback in Kellen Moore. We do agree on this one. I'm giving you a 5% chance. Both conferences are too tough. Big 12 is too tough, and the SEC is too tough. LSU still has to play Alabama, Florida, Arkansas, and then if they win the SEC, they'll have to take on South Carolina in the SEC championship game. All teams ranked in the top 15, and Oklahoma still's got to play Oklahoma State. Texas A&M, Baylor, and also Texas, who are also all top 25 teams. Just too tough schedule.
Yeah, it really is.
Week in and week out.
All right, so now we're going to get on to one of my this is my favorite subject of the day, actually, because Moneyball is a new movie starring Brad Pitt and
Jonah Hill and
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yep, there it is.
But it's called Moneyball, and it talks about Billy Beane, who is the general manager of the Oakland Athletics right now, and he uses sabermetrics to evaluate players. So, what are the odds that Brad Pitt wins the Oscar for Best Actor in Moneyball?
I know you're all about Brad Pitt, but I'm only giving you a 25% chance, just simply for the fact that these type of movies, these sports movies, they don't win these Oscars like this. So that's why I'm giving you the chance. I think it'll be a great movie. He'll play a great role in there, but just the type of movie it is not big for awards. I'm
going to give Brad Pitt a 100% chance to win because Brad Pitt is #1 on my most attractive guy list, and he's my favorite actor as well.
I'll take Brett Favre on my most attractive guy list.
I've seen some pictures that are not so attractive, Drew. But moving on, we're going to skip ahead to the rant part of the show. And for right now, we're going to go to my rant. That is, I kind of touched on it already, but the Red Sox are my favorite American League team, and the Braves are my favorite NL team. And I thought for sure at the beginning of the season they were going to make the playoffs. They were in for sure. Mm-hmm. But sure enough, they're both not in for sure, and sure enough, they both might not be in. And I think the odds might be pretty good that they both miss the playoffs. I hope they don't, but they might be pretty good. I don't know. Life isn't fair. Like, these two teams, I really want them to succeed, and I want to see, I don't know. But if they don't make the playoffs, so I'll probably have to watch the Brewers, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. But I might be drunk while I watch the Brewers. If that's okay with you.
Hey, look at the name. You got to be drinking a little bit when you watch the Brewers.
Yeah.
We'll move on to my rant. Perfect segue into mine. I want to talk about the Brewers. I want to talk about the #2 in that 1-2 punch. His name is Prince Fielder. He's already said he wants to be gone next year or probably won't be back next year. Here's my plea for him to stay. Prince, you're having a great time out there. You and, like I said, the best 1-2 punch in baseball and Ryan Braun. You guys are enjoying yourselves playing baseball. You're on a winning team. Has a perfect mixture of youth and veterans. You're also an MVP candidate in a hitting ballpark. Let's be honest, a lot of guys hit home runs at Miller Parks. If you want more money, do endorsements. Ryan Howard does all that Subway stuff. Do stuff like that if money's a big deal. And also you have great support from fans like me. So Prince Fielder, please stay around. We love having you in Milwaukee, and we'd love to have you for the rest of your career like we do have Ryan Braun. We lock you guys up for that 1-2 punch. We lock you guys up for the next 10 years. I could foresee a World Series championship.
What if the Cubs get Prince Fielder? What are you going to do?
Nuts.
They're going to have the best infield.
Well, let's talk about
they keep Ramirez.
Let's talk about the Cubs for a little bit, picking up all these free agents here. It drives me nuts. They always pick up these big free agents. They got Carlos Pena last year, and then they start hitting 150, and Chicago hates them. It's one of my favorite things to see in baseball, the Chicago fans. The thing I dislike about Chicago fans here is Chicago fans like more when Brewers lose than when the Cubs win, which is something that drives me nuts.
Why? You don't like when the Cubs lose?
Yeah, I'd rather have the Brewers win than the Cubs lose. I don't root against the team just for my own enjoyment.
I do. I do that all the time.
No,
I always root against teams I hate. I hate the Patriots. I hope they lose every game. I hate the Jets. I hope they lose every game too. I hope Tom Brady gets hurt this year. I hope Tom Brady breaks his leg in 18,000 pieces and never plays again. That's how much I hate things, and I root against people and teams.
Okay, first of all, I love Tom Brady. We talked about this before. And Sexy Rexy in the Jets. How can you dislike Sexy Rexy in the Jets?
Rex Ryan I like. Mark Sanchez is another pretty boy quarterback who I hate. And
the GQ thing was garbage.
A little ridiculous, honestly. It was pretty ridiculous.
Too far for me.
Yeah. And he's not even that good. He's not proven. So what? He's been to 2 AFC champions. Never mind. That doesn't make any sense at all.
Whatever. Now that I think about it, rooting against teams, the one team I do root against, though, is the Yankees. I love to see the Yankees lose every year. Unfortunately, I think the AL is going through them this year. I think it's going to be Phillies, Yankees. You hate to pick the top 2 seeds, but
You're not going Rangers.
Nope, not going Rangers. Look at the pitching staff that the Yankees have. It's fantastic. In that lineup, it's tough to beat. It really is.
I don't know. I honestly have no idea what's going to happen in the American League playoffs. It's going to be intense for sure. Mm-hmm. The Central, the Detroit Tigers are going to be tough to beat as well. Verlander is a Cy Young winner this year for sure, in my opinion. Yeah.
What do you think about him winning the AL MVP? I know there's been a lot of talk. You don't think so? Not
a
pitcher?
They're their own MVP.
Right. They do have the Cy Young.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's edition of Sports Scene. Join us on Thursday at 4:30 for this week's edition of Week in Review. Thanks for joining us.